Ever wondered what goes into making that rich, melt-in-your-mouth chocolate opus? It's not just a sweet treat, it's a masterpiece of precision, passion, and a whole lot of chocolatey goodness. From the selection of premium cocoa beans to that silky final layer, the journey is pure magic. Let's take a behind-the-scenes look at how this delicious delight is crafted inside the factory. Part 1. From Bean to Dream. Begins with carefully selected cocoa beans, usually from regions like Ghana, the Ivory Coast, or South America. The beans are sun-dried for several days to remove moisture. Once dried, the beans are shipped to the Opus production facility and go through a cleaning process to remove any dust, stones, or leftover debris from the farms. Then comes roasting, and this is where the chocolate starts to come alive. Roasting brings out the deep, complex flavors locked inside each bean. The temperature and timing have to be just right, and for Opus, it's usually a secret recipe. They go through a grinding process to form a thick, chocolatey paste known as cocoa liquor. Despite the name, there's no alcohol here. In the next part, we'll dive into how this cocoa liquor transforms into the smooth, creamy base of chocolate opus. Part 2. Blending the magic. There's a whole blend of ingredients that come together to create that signature opus taste. First up, the cocoa liquor is mixed with cocoa butter, sugar, and milk powder. For chocolate opus, the balance leans toward a creamy, melt-in-your-mouth texture. Once the ingredients are blended, they're passed through heavy-duty rollers in a process called refining. This is crucial because it's what makes the chocolate feel silky and smooth instead of gritty or coarse. It's time for one of the most critical steps in the chocolate-making process: conching. This part's all about patience. The refined mixture is placed in conching machines, large vats with rotating arms that keep the chocolate moving and heated for hours. For chocolate opus, the conching process is slow and gentle, allowing flavors to fully develop while removing any unwanted bitterness or acidity, giving the chocolate that signature snap when you break a bar and the slow, satisfying melt when it hits your tongue. Once the chocolate reaches its perfect flavor and texture, it's filtered to remove any final lumps or impurities. At this point, it's a luscious, velvety liquid, ready for the final stages of shaping and finishing. But before we get to molding those beautiful bars, there's one more crucial process: tempering. And trust me, it's a game changer. Part 3. Tempering and molding. Tempering is all about temperature control. The liquid chocolate is slowly cooled and reheated through a very specific cycle, typically using high-precision machines. Why? Because cocoa butter, one of chocolate's main ingredients, forms different types of crystals depending on how it's cooled. Only one of those crystal structures gives chocolate that glossy finish, satisfying snap, and the ability to hold its shape without melting in your hands. The tempering machines are set to exact temperatures, first lowering the chocolate to around 27 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, then gently bringing it back up to around 31 to 32 degrees Celsius, 88 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. This ensures that only the most stable crystals are formed. The liquid chocolate flows into custom-designed molds, often made of polycarbonate for a shiny finish. The molds are gently vibrated to remove any air bubbles, ensuring each piece is dense and flawless. The molds are then cooled in a controlled environment, usually in a cooling tunnel that gradually brings down the temperature to allow the chocolate to set evenly. After just a few minutes, the solidified Opus chocolates pop right out of the molds. Part 4. Wrapping the luxury. Packaging with precision. Once the molded chocolate Opus pieces cool and set to perfection, they're ready for their final transformation. As the chocolates leave the cooling tunnel, they slide smoothly onto conveyor belts that lead them straight to the packaging line. But before they're wrapped, each piece goes through a quality check. Sophisticated cameras and sensors scan for imperfections. Now comes the wrapping. The wrapped pieces are slid into branded outer sleeves or boxes, often with sleek designs that match the luxurious feel of the chocolate inside. If it's a special edition, there might even be embossed logos, textured finishes, or ribbon closures. Once the packaging is complete, the finished boxes are stacked into cartons, labeled, and sent off to warehouses for distribution. From there, they make their way to stores, online shelves, and, ultimately, your hands. The full journey of Chocolate Opus, from bean to bar. It's not just a sweet treat. It's a carefully crafted masterpiece made with passion at every step.